Michael Bociurkiw. He's a global affairs analyst and author of the new book, Digital Pandemic, and he is in Sydney, British Columbia. And I know you are also an expert on this particular part of the world. So Let me ask you, what is the backstory to the dissent that we're seeing in Belarus right now? And is this athlete's fear legitimate?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. The backstory is that it's unbelievable, breathtaking repression going on since last October, the stolen election by President Lukashenko. And a lot of people, hundreds of thousands, came out to protest. There was brutal repression. Thousands, and I mean tens of thousands, have been imprisoned. There have been verified stories of torturing, and a lot of journalists, by the way, have also been imprisoned. So what does that do to young people? It forces them to leave. They've had nothing short of a brain drain, especially in the tech sector, and of course the political dissidents going for safer havens like Ukraine. So in terms of Kristina defecting, she dared to criticize her coaches, her National Olympic team. That's not permitted under the thuggish regime of Lukashenko. So they threatened her, and she did the right thing and applied for asylum, and as you said, is now in Poland.
Lukashenko used to run the Belarus National Olympic Committee. Now his son runs it. So clearly he has a great interest in Belarusian athletes. What has happened to other athletes, Michael, who have spoken out in the past against the regime?
Actually, there are more that have been publicized in the past 24 hours since Kristina defected that have, for example, sought safe haven in Germany. You're right. Lukashenko used to be head of the National Olympic Committee in Belarus. And then, of course, in traditional kind of Soviet style, he handed it over to his son. But you know what? The IOC did the right thing. They actually banned the son and Lukashenko, the father, from attending the games, and other officials as well. They really stepped up to the plate, I have to say, to help Kristina see through her defection and to deal with her fears, guarantee her safety. So I didn't expect that, but it was really good to see.
Right. Also, a major hockey tournament was pulled from Belarus in the future, which angered him as well. But is that what it might take to stop the repression that we're seeing, or is this just something that is endemic there now?
Oh, absolutely. Naming and shaming, as these athletes do, is very important. And it's important for the international community, including Canada, to show solidarity and stand up to this thug, this international terrorist who, by the way, brought down a passenger plane with a wanted dissident on it a few months ago. If I could also say, I think right now is really, really important for President Zelensky of Ukraine to come out strongly against the murder also of another Belarusian dissident who was helping others flee the country, and get to the bottom of his murder, which happened yesterday. Because unless that kind of action is taken, this type of repression, this type of international terrorism will continue to happen.
The activist yesterday was found hanged, and the inference is that it was a suicide, but many believe it was not suicide, it was murder.
Absolutely. It has all the hallmarks of a Russian Cold War style chilling murder. And this has happened before, actually, in Soviet times. Michael Bociurkiw, a popular Ukrainian composer who was not favored by the Soviet officials at the time, was found murdered exactly the same way. So a lot of us are thinking of that. Pavel Sharomet, a Belarusian journalist who was a critic of Lukashenko, he was blown to bits by a car bomb, I think, a couple of years ago in central Kyiv in broad daylight. So again, the Ukrainian authorities have to move very strongly to solve these murders. The other one still isn't solved, because otherwise it puts into question what kind of law and order is there in Ukraine. But it also, if Ukraine can flush out these terrorists who come into the country and perform these types of murders, it will make the country a lot safer, and these safe havens safer for these dissidents.
Sure, but it's such a complicated issue. I have 30 seconds left, Michael. What will happen to Kristina Timanovskaya now?
Well, as I just wrote in my CNN op-ed, I mean, even just because she's in Poland does not put her in safety. And I hate to say that after what she went through. It was a very brave act to do. So, again, the Polish authorities have to work with the international community, perhaps even Canada, the U.S., to create the kind of secure environment for these types of dissidents to survive and continue thriving.
Michael Bociurkiw, global affairs analyst, I do appreciate your time today. Thank you.